to episode 4 of the Bros Before Hoes podcast. Hope y'all have enjoyed the last episodes. Today we're going to be talking about just a little bit of my life story, take a little dive. I guess we should start off. Didn't have a very good childhood, and I'm not going to say it was the worst. Definitely wasn't the worst, but it wasn't very good. Alcoholic and drug addict parents, but I feel like, they were functional. They still worked, they still provided, we still ate. They just did a lot of drugs and drank a lot. And it's not something that I struggle with day to day, because I find it as fuel. It made me do better. It made me not want to become a drug addict or an alcoholic, because I knew I would have the tendencies of becoming dependent on certain things just because my parents were, and that's what I grew up with, seeing is people being dependent to bury emotions or just to feel good, And there was definitely times in my life where I was dependent on certain things. I'm sober now, thank the Lord. But yeah, I had very, very alcoholic and drug addict parents. And their favorite things were like pills and beer. And they smoked all throughout my life, smoked weed. And the other drugs, I don't know for sure, so I can't really speak on it as well, but it was probably like meth and coke and stuff like that. So when I was growing up, when I was getting older, I would say when I first started recollecting things, it was around like 4 or 5, when I was able to comprehend stuff. And I grew up around a lot of parties, a lot of situations where I could have been hurt with the drugs that were around, which I never did, thankfully. And there was a lot of parties. I kind of liked the experience because, I was a kid. I got to hang around adults that were, partying, having fun, drunk. And it was definitely an experience to have. And I know other people are out there having a lot worse time than I did, because nowadays you got crazy people that are raising kids. Like that story about that girl that her mom drugged her and kept her in a wheelchair, shaved her head, stuff like that. The boyfriend that she got with kind of killed her mom or whatever. That's fucking insane. That's crazy. But some stories from my life that I could tell was I've probably seen more overdoses than the average person. Definitely more than the average person. I've seen people fall out because, they did too many pills and trying to force feed them milk and stuff to make them better in my parents' bed, because they done conked out because either the drugs that my parents sold them or because my parents were the people that other people came to in situations like that. And that's not a very fun situation. Seeing people close to death, it's not a great thing to see. People are messed up, and that's what I've came to learn in my life. There's a lot of people out there that don't look at the bigger picture, so they don't care as much, or they simply just don't care. They don't have feelings. And I'm glad I had the experience, so whenever I have kids, I can do a lot better than they did. And I grew up in a family of, it was me, my sisters, which is Lacey, Lori, Emily, and then my brother, David Lee, so it's a family of 5. And me and my sister Emily are the only 2 that are full blood relatives, and the other ones are just half, because my mom had 2 girls before she got with my dad, and my dad had a boy, David Lee, before he got with my mom. So I never really seen my brother as much because he lived with his mom in West Texas, and we grew up in East Texas, which is two totally different sides of Texas. My sisters, though, I did grow up with them part of my life, and I'm very thankful for my sisters. They've, if I didn't have them, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. Especially Lori and Emily. I think more when I got into the later part of my life, I didn't really see Lori or Lacey as much, but Lori, the memories that I have of Lori are always going to be sticking in my mind because she's helped me out with a lot. And my sister Emily, she's always been a foundation. She's been a rock in my life, and I'm very thankful for her. And I'll post some videos of me and Emily because that we're drinking partners. And her man Jonathan, he's very good. He's a good person. He's a good friend of mine. And one of these days, I'm gonna have him on as guest speakers. So that's gonna be fun. We're gonna talk about a lot of shit. I had some fun shroom trip stories with me and my sister Emily. So if any of y'all ever grew up with alcoholic parents or drug addict parents, my heart goes out to you, but don't let it get you down. Let it be fuel to your fire that burns inside of you. Let it be your passion, because you can do a lot better than your parents did. Don't get sucked up into addiction. I'm happy to be sober right now, and I don't say sober because I'm gonna do shit again. I'm gonna drink a beer every now and then. Probably won't drink as much liquor as I used to, because there was definitely a point in my life where my heart was broken and I was subconsciously trying to kill myself with drugs and pills, and that's just the point in my life where, you know, it wasn't great, and I didn't know I was doing it at the time, but I definitely was. Now that I look back on it and I have sober brain, I can tell you it was not a very good point. Very happy to have no drugs or alcohol in my system. But the only drugs I'll ever do again is probably weed and shrooms. I'll definitely do shrooms again. Acid, probably not though. Maybe. I've had some good times. But shrooms, definitely. I'll definitely microdose on shrooms again. I won't take as much as I used to, because I've had some times where I took way too much. And one drug I will never do again is Xanax. Xanax are very bad for you, very addictive, especially the street form. I might have them around when I do shrooms or if I do acid again, because it is a trip killer. Benzodiazepines kill your trip if you're having a bad trip. They're good to have around, and sometimes just knowing that they're around, it helps you. Knowing that you have a way out. But yeah, my life is full of things that are hard to talk about, but we'll get to that in another one. Thank y'all for watching. This has been episode 4, and hope to see you again.